Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gerwin.net, your source for pro wrestling news since 1997. My name is Atlee Green. Joining me is the funky weapon, Adam Kohn, and this is our TLC Tables, Ladders, and Chairs preview and prediction show. This is the 8th TLC event, and this particular show will emanate from the American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas, this Sunday on the WWE Network. And so far, 6 matches have been announced. They'll probably announce a couple more, plus there'll be some countdown show matches on the kickoff show. I know everybody calls it kickoff show, but I still call it a countdown show for you old school fans out there. But Adam, how are you liking this TLC lineup, considering WWE's really only had 2 weeks to promote the show?
I like it, but Atlee, where the heck is my damn stairs matches? Tables, ladders, chairs, and mother bleeping stairs. No, I'm kidding. I'm so happy we don't have a stairs match. That was brutal.
Well, this week on Smackdown, Becky Lynch in her promo, when she accepted Alexa Bliss's challenge to make it a tables match, she said that I'll do a ladder match, tables match, chairs match, or stairs match, and I cringed, saying, no,
yes.
you saw what the Big Show did in that stairs match, no. So I was like, hush, shut your mouth, Becky, shut your mouth.
Yes, you caught that, thank you.
So I was not happy with that, but, TLC... so far, I'm liking the lineup. It could be one of those sleeper shows where the build is a little underwhelming simply because of time, but it could be a kick-ass show once Sunday gets here. But let's talk about the official matches that are on the lineup here, Adam, as we have for the Smackdown Tag Team Championship, Heath, Slater, and Rhyno, Beauty and the Man Beast, are defending against Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton.
As I'm still pulling up my match card here, but basically, folks, this match can go many different ways. American Alpha themselves have a quote-unquote legitimate claim to the tag titles because 2 weeks ago on SmackDown, they won that tag team turmoil match. So, in my opinion, if the Wyatts win, then American Alpha goes right up to them and go, listen, we won that tag team turmoil match. You guys weren't there when we won it, and then you beat us the next week. We won that match. We legitimately became number one contenders. And we want a shot at those tag titles. And you can easily go down that storytelling route. But I do think it is time for Heath, Slater, and Rhyno to drop the belts to the Wyatt family. And I think it's time we start doing an American Alpha and Wyatt family feud.
I would be very happy to see an American Alpha versus Wyatt family feud based on the match we saw on SmackDown. But when I look at this particular match, Heath, Slater, Rhyno, Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton, I think this match all boils down to what WWE has planned for the relationship between Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. Are they going to do the breakup where just when it looks like Bray Wyatt's about to get his first championship, Orton, boom, RKO out of nowhere? Or are they going to have them win the tag team championship and, go a little longer with this feud and whatnot, or this team up with this Ruse or whatever happened in Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt? But I'm of the opinion that they are playing the long game, they mean WWE, with this particular storyline of Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. And it may be possible that it's going to go up to WrestleMania. So therefore, I see Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton becoming the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. I think Heath, Slater, and Rhyno have lost a little bit of steam in recent weeks, and I think you've done as much as you can with this particular duo on top as Tag Team Championships. And I think the nickels go to Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton.
No, I don't disagree with you. When you and I are both on the same page with where we see this ruse ending with Randy Orton and the Wyatt family. I said a few weeks back on the SmackDown Breakdown that I think that Randy's getting in there and will eventually take quote-unquote Bray Wyatt's power. So when they eventually have their feud and he turns on him, he can do the same, creepy things that cut out the lights and then turn them back on. And he can do all that because he's been in the family long enough to do it, and you could make that an interesting feud. But I don't see that really happening until we get past the Rumble and well into Mania season and make that a very central point of Mania. So I agree. I see Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton winning the nickels and becoming the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
The next match on our lineup here is Kalisto taking on Baron Corbin, the Lone Wolf, in a chairs match. And the only thing I really have to think about this match is Baron Corbin, as far as the story being told with him thus far, because when you go to the red brand, meaning Monday Night Raw, Stephanie McMahon is currently punishing Sami Zayn for, quote, failing to bring the IC title to Raw. And I'm like, okay, the dude didn't really fail. He got screwed by Maurice. Maurice screwed him over. And then you get Baron Corbin, who purposely cost SmackDown the Cruiserweight division. So why isn't Shane McMahon punishing Baron Corbin? But the way I see this, there's no Cruiserweight division on SmackDown. Kalisto's probably staying on SmackDown for the long run. So Eater of Worlds is going to light him up with the chair and get the win.
Eater of Worlds, isn't that Bray Wyatt?
You are right. The Lone Wolf, I'm sorry.
That's right. The Lone Wolf and his lone fan.
Yes. I like that. The Lone Wolf and his lone fan. I like that.
Wait a minute. Not the lone fan, because then he'll give me the end of days, and that will hurt tremendously. So I think Baron Corbin goes over in this match. I have got no analysis here. This feud needs to end, and it needs to end now. And Corbin wins with a end of days on top of a pile of steel chairs.
Next, we got the Intercontinental Championship match in a ladder match with the Miz defending the championship against Dolph Ziggler. And I'm curious to see how this match is going to unfold, because when you think of IC title ladder matches, you think about all the great IC title matches that have been contested in a ladder match, such as WrestleMania 10, Shawn Michaels vs. Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels vs. Razor Ramon 2 at SummerSlam 1995, The Rock versus Triple H at SummerSlam 1998, and a whole slew of ladder matches that I'm not even talking about for the IC Championship. However, when I look at this particular match, I'm sure it's going to be well worked, and I'm sure it's going to have some great moments, but I think a little bit of the steam in the Ziggler-Miz feud has kind of worn out, because remember at No Mercy, Ziggler was putting his career on the line in a last-ditch effort to finally find his footing in 2016 and won the Intercontinental Championship in a awesome match that many people feel stole the show at No Mercy, only for Miz to win it back right before Survivor Series. So therefore, I kind of feel it cheapened their feud a little bit, and I don't see the point in putting the IC title back on Ziggler again. There's no need to flip-flop it, so I think Maurice interferes somehow, and as a result, The Miz walks out of the American Airlines Center still your Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think it's time for a new challenger for The Miz. Why not Baron Corbin? Why not someone else you're trying to build up? I really think it's time to move away from Miz and Ambrose. Miz and Ziggler. I mean, Mr. Ziggles. There's a blast from the past. Mr. Ziggles. I think it's time for Mr. Ziggles to get out of this feud. The title's back where it should be, on Miz's shoulder. And, Atlee, if you were to name another number one contender that you would like to see face Miz for the IC title, who would it be and why?
James Ellsworth.
Oh, I will hang up this recording right now. Stop it. James Ellsworth, are you kidding me?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good.
Very much so. Now, if it actually happened, I wouldn't be the most unhappy person in the room, because the promos with Miz just tearing down this chinless wonder would just be awesome, and that would make the feud worth the price of admission. But I think we'll have to see how TLC plays out, and maybe the next week's episode of SmackDown before we get a new number one contender for the IC Championship. I mean, there's only 6 matches right now, so perhaps they give Apollo Crews a big win. We haven't seen him in a while. Perhaps they give Kane a big win. Oh, I shudder to think of a Miz.
Oh, Atlee, did
Kane
you really
feud.
say that? Oh my gosh.
I did. Oh. But they can just give somebody a big win to kind of get them back into that mold. But either way, I really hope this is the blow-off to the Miz versus Dolph Ziggler feud. But our next match is going to be a no disqualification match between Nikki Bella and Carmella, and I could care less about this match. It is the second-tier women's feud on this show. Not that that's a bad thing, but these two make it a bad thing because it's just not been a good feud. It's not interesting in any way, shape, or form. And I'm going to flip a coin. Hold on. Carmella wins.
That is beautiful. It's perfect. I got nothing. I can't possibly follow that up. I mean, come on. That is fantastic. Anyway, I digress. I think Carmella has to come out of this match. I honestly don't care who wins this match. I think it would just do more for Carmella and her career here on the main roster, just to get a win over a name like Nikki Bella, on a pay-per-view like this. However, Atlee, I will say there is one thing about our next segment, and that would be the SmackDown Women's Championship. I feel like at least the SmackDown Women's Championship means something, unlike our fine friends over on Monday Night Raw, where they are playing hot potato with the thing, and their Raw Women's Championship, because, let's face it, Charlotte is the Raw pay-per-view Women's Champion. Sasha Banks is the Raw TV Women's Champion. At least over here on the Blue Brand, we got a title that means something, and that would be Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss. Break it down for us, Atlee.
I'm giving this to Alexa Bliss. I think she's going to walk out of TLC as the new SmackDown Women's Champion. I say that because despite how Monday Night Raw is handling their Women's Championship situation, with 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4, they have the majority of the stars on their women's roster. They have Charlotte, they have Bayley, they have Sasha Banks. They're doing stuff with Nia Jax. They're utilizing all of their women fairly well. When you got SmackDown, for the most part, you got Becky Lynch, you got Nikki Bella, and that's it. Because Carmella, not making too much of an impression, even though she's trying. Naomi, she's good. I think people can get behind her, but they're not really doing anything with her. And then you got Natalya, who is one of my all-time favorite female wrestlers, and I think a lot of people will speak on that point. But I think it's clear that they do not have any plans to utilize Natalya in a feature role as far as the women go. But then you got Alexa Bliss, who has been consistently one of the best performers on SmackDown since they put her in this feud with Becky Lynch. And now that it's a tables match, you can do this in a way where she gets the fluke win over Becky Lynch, where it looks like Becky's going to put her away. Something happens, and then Becky falls to a table. Alexa gets the championship, and then you give Alexa a turn with a championship until they decide to put it back on Becky. Or they'll go in a different direction altogether. Because I think that they need to really augment more of their women. And again, if they just got Becky and Nikki as far as star power goes, having Alexa Bliss go over on Becky will definitely help her become the third woman in that conversation as far as SmackDown goes. And being that her work has been awesome, I think she deserves it, and I think it's her turn. I think she walks out as the new SmackDown Women's Champion.
Oh, Atlee, I really hope you're right. I really, really do. Before this tables match was announced, I had Alexa as my winner. When this tables match was announced tonight, I'm like, oh, I can just see Becky pulling this off somehow and Alexa being more pissed, and we'll eventually get another match. I would love to see Alexa Bliss win. My pick is Alexa Bliss. I just have this weird feeling. Now that we have a tables match, I just see Becky Lynch winning this match. And man, that pains me to say, because on the SmackDown breakdown, my thoughts have been very well documented on what I think of Alexa Bliss. I think she's one of the best things going on SmackDown Live right now, if not the best thing going on SmackDown Live. It's like night and day with her character, her delivery, and everything about her has been totally on point, over the top. It's been awesome. And like I said, Alexa Bliss for all the things and all the championships. But I just think we'll get this gimmick match. I think Lynch is going to take it.
You got to go with your gut in these situations, Adam, and I understand it completely. But now it is time for the main event of the evening, as AJ Styles defends the WWE World Championship in the main event against Dean Ambrose in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. Now, when I look at this particular match, Adam, TLC for me is a one-match show, and that match is this WWE World Title match. No disrespect to anybody else on this card, but that's just the way it has appealed to me. Now, if you have followed the career of AJ Styles through TNA, through Ring of Honor, through New Japan, through the Indies, and to now WWE, you know that a TLC match is tailor-made for somebody with the skills and attributes of AJ Styles. And on top of that, he's not just wrestling this match anywhere. He's wrestling this match in the main event of a WWE pay-per-view while defending the world title. So he is going to go for broke like never before and put on some death-defying, jaw-dropping things. And Dean Ambrose is going to do some really cool stuff too, no doubt about it. But at the end of the day, AJ Styles is going to win this match because there'll be some shenanigans with James Ellsworth, and they'll do a deal where it looks like Ambrose is about to win it, AJ Styles does something spectacular, knocks him off their ladder, grabs the belt, and celebrates. Because if you remember the reaction you got from Survivor Series and the episode of Raw before Survivor Series, and just now, AJ Styles is arguably the most popular wrestler on the WWE roster, regardless of brand. I don't think he really can go anywhere right now with Dean Ambrose as WWE World Champion. And while AJ Styles has done nothing but pay dividends, and I think the belt stays with the Southern boy from Georgia.
I completely agree. I pick AJ Styles to go over Dean Ambrose in this match. Now, there is a reason I say this, not only because he's the best damn thing going in WWE right now, but because of the few rumors we've heard about his possible opponents at the Royal Rumble in the Alamo Dome. I believe the venue can hold about 60,000 people. So the rumored matches, folks, have been AJ Styles versus Shawn Michaels, which I don't see happening. But the new rumor out there, Atlee, is AJ Styles versus The Undertaker. And boy, wouldn't that be interesting if he held the belt and it was for the world title. You would not know who would win that match. And if you were going to make AJ Styles go up against The Undertaker, let's just play fantasy booking here, then you have him go into TLC, destroy Dean Ambrose, destroy James Ellsworth, make him look dominant, make it a 70-30 split, and you start building him hard to make him seem like he has any shot at even defeating The Undertaker, because it'd be AJ Styles versus a legend, one of the greats of all time. He's going to need to be built up like a monster, such a mega push behind him to even come close of thinking that he'd beat The Undertaker. So, heading back here to the TLC match, I definitely think this is going to be match of the night. However, I don't know if it's going to be a 5-star classic. We will see. Anything can happen with these two wrestlers, especially because they're both still just damn good. But, Ali, it's going to be tough to, top AJ Nakamura at Wrestle Kingdom 10 that we saw this year. It'll be very interesting to see what AJ does, as we get closer to the end of the year here, in a match that really I can see him excelling at and pulling out some of the AJ Styles, moves that we may have not seen in a while. Maybe a spinal tap, if you will, off a ladder.
Oh, AJ is going to bring it because as TLC, WWE, he's on top of the biggest wrestling company in the world. It's going to be all sorts of crazy, and I can't wait to see it. But going back to the rumor you talked about where Styles may wrestle The Undertaker, the Royal Rumble is going to be one of the biggest venues it's been in quite some time, since the last time the Rumble was in the San Antonio Alamo Dome in 1997. It fits over 60,000 people, so you're talking about a near WrestleMania-sized venue they're having for the Royal Rumble. So they have to put some marquee attractions on there, and you got Goldberg and Lesnar in the Rumble, so that's already a great start. And then if you do Taker versus Styles, a match you thought you'd never see, I think it's also a great way to do it. But again, I don't know if the rumors are true, but what I do believe to be true is that once again Styles is walking out of TLC, still your WWE World Champion. But folks, that's going to do it for our TLC preview prediction show here at Gerwick.net. That is GERWECK.net, your source for pro wrestling since 1997. You can also hear this show on my official YouTube channel, so definitely check it out. Adam, final thoughts on what you think TLC is going to be overall as far as, a theme, a feeling, anything else in between?
Man, I think this has the makings of a sneaky good card. That we're going to see a lot of good to great matches come out of here. A lot of 3 to 4 star matches, maybe a 4.5 to 5 star match. This could really help just elevate SmackDown as a brand even more.
I like how you said this is a sneaky card, because if I go to the UFC example, diehard MMA fans will recognize that UFC shows that usually have a weak lineup on paper tend to be really good shows that keep you talking, get you jazzed for more. And I'm not really excited for this show per se, just because there hasn't been that much build, and there's bigger things on the horizon. But I think this card has the ability to possibly be one of the better shows of the year, depending on how the players perform this Sunday. But folks, that's going to do it for our TLC preview prediction show. For Adam Kohn, this is Atlee Green. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.